Some things don't break you the moment they happen. They wait. They sit quietly in the corner of your life, like a letter you're not ready to open. And betraying someone who never deserved it is exactly that kind of thing. It doesn't announce itself. It doesn't arrive with thunder or consequence or immediate regret. It arrives later, much later, when the celebrations are over, when the distractions grow thin, when the room gets quiet and there's nothing left between you and the truth of what you did. Most people think they got away with it. They moved on. Life continued. Nobody collapsed. Nobody came apart at the seams. And so they exhale. They assume the story is finished. But here's what they don't understand. Some stories don't end when you walk away from them. Some stories follow you, not with noise, not with chaos, but with a silence so deep and so patient, it will outlast every excuse you ever made. Stay with me tonight, because what I'm about to tell you is something you may have felt but never had the words for. And those words, they change everything. I need you to close your eyes for a moment. Think about what it felt like to be loved by someone who never once made you earn it. Someone who showed up not because it was convenient, but because to them, you were worth showing up for. They didn't love you in a straight line. They loved you around your edges, around your silence and your sharp days and your moments of being completely, impossibly difficult. They forgave things that other people would have used against you. They stayed in moments that would have made anyone else leave. They chose you, not perfectly, not without pain, but sincerely. And sincerity, real sincerity, is not something you can manufacture. You cannot fake it. You cannot replace it. You cannot find it on a shelf somewhere and bring it home when you finally realize you need it. What you had was not common. It was not replaceable. It was not the kind of love that grows on every corner. It was the kind that takes years to find and seconds to destroy. And somewhere deep inside you, even then, you knew that, didn't you? There was a day. You may not remember it. It didn't look like anything important. No slammed doors. No final words that cut like glass. No dramatic ending written in tears. It looked ordinary. It looked like just another day. But something happened beneath the surface that you couldn't see. They stopped. Not loudly. Not in a way that demanded your attention. They stopped quietly. The way a candle stops, not with a crash, but with a curl of smoke, and then nothing. They stopped reaching out first. They stopped explaining their heart to someone who kept handing it back. They stopped waiting at a door that never fully opened for them. And when a person like that stops, it is not temporary. It is not a phase or a mood or something that sleep will fix. It is a conclusion. The conclusion that they finally, painfully, gently arrived at after giving you every possible chance to arrive there with them. They didn't stop because they stopped caring. They stopped because caring had cost them everything, and you had never once asked for the bill. And that is the moment you lost them. Not the fight, not the betrayal. That quiet, invisible, ordinary day when they decided to stop. This is where life stops being kind to you. Not dramatically, not all at once, but in the smallest, most unexpected moments. You're laughing with someone new and something feels hollow underneath it. You're being cared for and something about it feels performed. Like watching a painting of a fire instead of sitting beside one. You reach for something you can't name, and you realize what you're reaching for is the feeling of being truly known. Not impressed, not entertained, known. The way they knew you, the way they could tell something was wrong before you said a single word. The way their presence felt like permission to finally exhale. And you start to understand something that nobody warned you about. That losing someone genuine doesn't just leave an empty space. It leaves a standard. A quiet, devastating standard that everything else now has to measure up to. And most things won't. If this is sitting in your chest right now, you are not alone. So many people are carrying this exact weight tonight and have no language for it. Like this video if you've ever felt the difference between someone who truly saw you and someone who only looked. Subscribe. Because what comes next is the part most people never say out loud. Here is the truth nobody prepares you for. The haunting doesn't come from them. They are not lying awake thinking of you. They are healing. They are learning to sleep again. They are rediscovering what peace feels like when it isn't constantly interrupted. The haunting comes from inside you. It comes in the middle of ordinary moments. It comes when someone lets you down and your body remembers that they never did. It comes when trust gets broken and you remember what it felt like to live inside something unbreakable. It comes at 2 a.m. when the world is quiet and regret speaks with perfect clarity. And regret at 2 a.m. does not whisper. It sits beside you. It puts its hand on your shoulder. It says, "Do you remember? Do you remember what it felt like to be loved without conditions? Do you remember what you had? Do you remember what you did with it?" The haunting is not punishment. It is memory. And memory, when it carries something this heavy, does not fade with time. It sharpens. The more you live without what you lost, the more precisely you understand what it was. And that precision, that is the haunting. While you were busy moving forward, something quiet and extraordinary was happening on the other side. They were healing, but not the way people heal in movies. Dramatically, tearfully, with a single moment of breakthrough. They healed slowly, the way a bone heals, from the inside out, in ways nobody could see until they were already stronger than before. They cried on nights you'll never know about. They questioned themselves in ways that were never fair to them. They carried a weight that was never theirs to carry. And then one day, they set it down. They looked at everything that had happened, and they made a choice. Not to harden, not to close, but to be wiser. To love again, but differently. To open again, but with boundaries built from everything you taught them. And here is what breaks the heart the most. If you saw them today, you would barely recognize the version of them that exists now. Not because they are cold, but because they are complete. They no longer need what they once hoped you would give them. They found it. In themselves. In time. In the quiet dignity of someone who survived being undervalued and chose to bloom anyway. Let me tell you something about rare things. You don't miss them when you first lose them. You miss them when you finally understand what rare means. And you only understand what rare means after living long enough in ordinary. After enough shallow conversations that leave you empty. After enough love that comes with fine print. After enough loyalty that evaporates the moment it becomes inconvenient. That's when it returns. Not with anger, not with drama, with something quieter and far more lasting. With the understanding that what you had was not something the world hands out freely. It was not something you can find again simply by looking harder or waiting longer. It was built from years of someone choosing to be exactly who they were. Fully, openly, without strategy. And you were the recipient of all of that. You were the one they chose to give it to. And you treated it like it would always be there. Like sincerity was a renewable resource. Like a good heart had unlimited patience. Like love that deep could simply be replaced with something easier and less demanding. It cannot. And life, in its quiet and patient way, will keep showing you that for as long as it takes for you to understand. I want to speak to two people right now. First, to the one who did the betraying, I am not here to condemn you. I am here to tell you that it is not too late to become someone who understands the weight of what genuine love costs another person. You cannot go back, but you can go forward differently. You can choose to be the kind of person who recognizes sincerity when it stands in front of you, who doesn't mistake patience for permanence, who understands that love like that is not a given. It is a gift, and gifts deserve to be treated accordingly. And to you, the one who was betrayed, the one who gave everything and still somehow ended up feeling like it wasn't enough, I need you to hear this. You were enough. You were always enough. Your love was not foolish. Your loyalty was not weakness. Your staying was not stupidity. It was the fullest expression of who you are. And who you are is rare. Not everyone can love the way you loved. Not everyone has that depth. Not everyone has that courage. You were not wrong for loving that way. You were only wrong about who deserved to receive it. Don't close your heart. Don't shrink your depth. Don't let what they did to you become what you do to the next person who comes along with something real to offer. The world is starving for people who love the way you love. Comment, I loved right. I just loved wrong, if this found you tonight. Share this with someone who needs to know their love was never the problem. And remember, a good heart doesn't lose. It just learns finally and completely who it was always meant to give itself to.